Not just the ESL One Championship, but Limp specifically proving himself as the singular best Dota 2 player in the world, according to Grant. If he wins this lane.
Can he do it? It's so tough. You've got a disadvantageous lane matchup, then TA just outfarms you in the jungle. At no point do you have real kill threat on TA, Refraction just blocking all the damage output from Lightning Bolt. I guess Static, I don't know for sure. Does Static Field mean you take away 2 Refraction charges? Do you know how that works? Is it a separate damage instance?
I'm not sure, actually. It feels like it'd probably be a separate instance. I think the minimum damage rules are it's like 5 damage or something like that, maybe more, to break Refraction.
It would make sense it's a separate instance.
Only instances of 5 or more damage will trigger Refraction.
There you go.
Got it. Well, they do have that mid lane matchup is going to be tough. But what about some of the other lanes? We're going to have our 4-position Hanskin Nature's Prophet that Alliance is really specialized in, mixed with S4 against an Ursa Cuddle lane. So very likely cutting creep waves there. The bottom lane, where we're going to see some early action, the Grimstroke plus Phantom Lancer combination. Nico Baby does manage to snatch away the Bounding Rune against 2 players. He's going to take a lot of damage for it and may just be forced into leveling Doppelwalk if he feels like he's taken that much damage, but no, he's good for now.
Puppey could skill Illuminate. Will he go for a sniper or anything like that? Decides not to skill anything just yet.
I would have been down for that play. Even just canceling the healing salve would have been pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, you could, if you cancel the healing salve, that bottom lane just goes so damn incredibly well. FNG uses his self, so Nico Baby still has another. But yeah, looking at some of these side lanes, I think for top, Alliance may want to at least try play the lane before going for any kind of wave cutting. With the Nature's Prophet here, this is a really good hero to try and bully the Ursa back. But Puppey with Headdress, we'll see if he goes, Blinding Light or Illuminate. We haven't seen much Blinding Light Coddle. There's been a resurgence in the Illuminate Coddle, I'd say, as the 5-position harassing tool.
Dude, this mid lane's so funny. I'm watching Limp try and dodge side blade hits while simultaneously right-clicking Nisha a bunch. But that's, before Refraction comes into play. Now that it's up, lane will start getting harder for him.
Yeah, it is a good first couple of waves, but definitely does not get easier. Nice fissure block down bottom.
That'll be an easy kill onto FNG. First blood for Zai.
Jesus, bottom lane doesn't even look like Alliance is going to have a good PL game with how the Dazzle Shaker are matching up. Dazzle is out of mana here, but is going to get the second Sage's Mask out soon and just be rushing that Necrobook, of course.
Yeah, you might be able to dispel Poison Touch, but it's still a really good nuke, this heal. And they're going to block both of them in again. FNG, well, he does manage to cut enough trees to get around that fissure block, so he won't die again.
They're using so much regen, these two. They shoot through 6 or 7 tangos, 2 salves. They have a 3rd salve on FNG. They're heavily losing the regen battle, and PL is only a 6 CS, so it's not like they're actually getting good farm out of using all their regen right now.
Yeah. Hanskin going to be chased down by Matamaman, corner tier, and S4 unable to do the same to Puppey.
Yep. Puppey ended up going for the level 1 Chakra, just looking to give Ursa an even better time using that nuke to just harass and secure creeps if needed. But yeah, S4 has decided this lane, not so playable. I'm going to play behind the tower, and early rotation from Hanskin. Going to TP immediately back here to try and snipe Puppey.
Puppey may regret that level 1 Chakra magic. The Blinding Light might have helped him out pretty good there, but yeah.
A little surprised, yeah. I feel like going for either Illuminate or Blinding Light would have been able to have a bit more lane impact.
Zeus still topping out the CS charts. Net worth is even, so they're both having to blow through quite a lot of regen.
Yeah, Zeus doing A-okay so far.
Even 5 denies is pretty good, but now he's going to start copping even more damage.
Back at top, S4 decides, yep, can't play the lane, going to just do some wave cutting.
Another nice fissure block. Yapzor is really on point right now with those.
Yeah, and they're out of regen. No tangos, no salves, and they're low health here, so surprisingly, bottom lane is the lane that's going the absolute worst for Alliance. Like, I would have expected, like, the Ursa maybe to be bullying the Axe or the TA to be bullying the Zeus a bit, but it's bottom lane that's the disaster lane.
Inkswell will stun up Zai, but with the poison still on him, FNG does have to back away. Look at him, man. He is not scared one bit.
Yep, Nico Baby farming on, like, no health here. He's got his courier coming out, which is scouted by a ward here, but don't believe they're going to be able to snipe it or stop this from coming in. So another salve, some more tangos.
And Hanskin's focusing so much on pressuring Matumban with the treants and such underneath the tower that he doesn't have the opportunity to rotate. I think they might need to help out this bottom lane. Some sort of, like, if they get level 2 Inkswell up, then they could probably get a kill on somebody here.
Yeah. I think at some point you have to make that move because Dazzle's having such a free time. If you give this Necrobook at like 7 minutes in or something, it's going to feel disastrous.
Trying to get the treants in front to block out Matumbaman. Matumbaman, though, will still manage to run him down, and now he's going to force Hanskin to TP as well. That is the danger of Ursa. He's a lot more mobile now that he has that Earth Shock to be able to hop around and is able to chase down the axes. He's cutting down creep waves.
Probably going to secure the top bounty room with that. And looks like Secret should be able to get 3 of these 4 runes, so even better for them as Nisha's being TP'd onto the mid lane. Oh, that's FNG coming in.
Oh, but Limp's got to be careful. FNG ran around the side here. Limp in danger. Is able to keep some bottle charges up, so he's going to be okay, and Nisha completely jukes him out. Yapsor is going to show his face as well. Nicely played by Nisha.
Has the rotation from Yapsor, a lot of damage from those side blades. And there's no real kill threat on Nisha, I feel, right here.
Treants are going to go with the Inkswell stun to maybe kill Nisha. They need a little bit more mana onto Limp to finish him off, but FNG and Hanskin's Treants were going to be enough, and Yapsor actually gets low enough. Limp already using his last lightning bolt, though, completely wasted. That was 3 heroes in the mid lane, but it does finally net a kill.
Really well done. I mean, the damage over time from Inkswell helping out there against the TA, and Alliance going to make another move. FNG's coming in with another Inkswell. He's just running at people.
One stun. Limp not in range to be able to cast that last arc lightning. Probably wouldn't have been enough anyway. Now Matumbaman's going to make an early rotation. Limp does manage to get a haste rune, though, to stay away from that big bad bear. Pops his ultimate now, but Yapsor did live on a decent amount of HP because he has his Tranquil Boots.
Yep. Those, I think, were just delivered on his courier, so Zeus didn't know that he had the Tranquil Boots, and that regen healing him up. So nicely done. Team Secret, once again, winning these laning stages, just coming out on top. Matu having that free lane, bottom lane going so incredibly well. It's just mid lane, which is slightly even and really a bit Secret favored when you see the net worth of the Zeus just being so far behind.
Yeah, so positioned himself nicely to be able to cut behind FNG, but it does mean he dies because the help of Hanskin that's here. Leaving him alone, though, S4 is easy food for Matumbaman, especially when he's got Aftershock after Aftershock.
Yeah, it just feels like Alliance have to commit so many heroes anytime they want to get a kill. It's like both supports have to rotate bottom, and you just kill a 4-position Shaker. Meanwhile, Secret's like, okay, just Ursa by himself, just going to kill an Axe more or less. Like,
yeah.
He doesn't need help. Secret can just invest less resources into any play they're making, and they're just getting more farm on the map as a result of that.
Hanskin can't TP out, and the Fisher's going to come in to seal the deal there.
Necro 1 coming out on the courier super early on, playing some fast tempo here on the Secret side. They're going to be pressuring this bottom tower. They can be farm the jungle with this as well. Has the cooldown reduction to go with it. Brutal stuff here. And he's not even pressuring the tower. He's just looking to deny every creep down here as well at the same time.
FNG and Hanskin, they move over to the bottom river. They're going to try and threaten Nisha with that Inkswell as he approaches. But now that that threat is gone, he can go back in. Hanskin, Earthshock jumps over that Fisher to help get on top of Limp. Limp hoping to be able to get the kill onto Yapsor with this combo. Not enough.
It's pretty cool. Matu just wants to fight. Seeing this, like, Ursa, he's still going Battle Fury, but he's so strong with this 4 points in Earthshock this early on that he's just able to run at any hero he wants to around the map.
Oh, and he's going to maybe find some stacks, too. FNG blocked out again by the Fisher, and now that the Necronomicon is here, both the Poison Touch and the heal from the Dazzle are lethal weapons.
Yeah, it's a tough game. PL doesn't really want to lane against the Dazzle. I think at this point, Nico Baby probably just needs to head back into the jungle, give up this bottom tower, but they're going to keep trying to fight with the Zeus rotation. Zai doesn't have Grave.
Big kill if they can get it, and should be able to do so. Limp is going to find
but
most of his
Poison
mana
Touch on Limp.
out. Yeah, maybe this
reapplied.
ranged archer, if you can.
Oh,
nice use of the smoke.
Yep, so just trying to pop it. Man, that Poison Touch. Ooh, we got down to 50 health there.
Yeah, that smoke was definitely needed. Well played by FNG. Nisha diving in deep is going to be cut off by S4 here. With the two heroes that were smoked up, they're also going to rotate in. Nisha is going to find himself completely surrounded. TP canceled. And another great kill for Alliance. It doesn't really stop this net worth lead that Secret has, but it's the beginning. It's a start.
Yep. Better than nothing. And I think for Secret, you kind of just want to deter their aggression and force them to play a bit more of a slower paced farming game, which doesn't necessarily favor Alliance, but it's going to give them some breathing room, which is what they need. They need to get up to this like Blink Dagger and Axe, then S4 can start making some plays, create some space for PL, but S4 is being run at.
It's going to go for the call, for the extra armor, pulled back in though by the Will-O-Wisp, and now Nico Baby. This is going to be him dealing with that Will-O-Wisp, but they can't actually turn around and kill anybody from Secret, even with FNG. They're trying to go for an Inkswell play, I think, but sadly, that is not going to work out. Now 5K up.
And Zai just takes advantage of all those heroes rotating top to try to help out the Axe, and is going to pressure this bottom tier 1 tower, continue to free farm with his Necro Book.
Man's not slowing down one bit, Hanskin. You got to be careful, man. Again, the maxed out Earthshock is only a 6-second cooldown. Puppy giving him the Chakra Magic, then he could just double Earthshock all the time. Now, he is still going to be a problem. You like to think of Ursa as a single target, but between him going Battle Fury and then also you being unable to dispel the Fury swipes.
Yeah, and I think the new item build we see is going to match up well against the Axe as well with the status resist, which is normally the SMY Satanic after the Battle Fury. That's going to make it so that anytime you get Blink Cold, even if he has like a Blade Mail, you're just going to heal yourself back up with the Lifesteal, and the status resist will help bail you out, so gonna be a tricky game for them to deal with the Ursa, let alone some of these other cores. TA and Dazzle also having free games, so Dazzle's able to farm Ancients now. Everything looking really good for Secret, who are already up 2 games in Alliance. They want to make some plays, some moves, and that's going to come down to S4. His Blink Dagger timing constantly getting slowed down with this pressure.
FNG hoping the Inkswell would explode in time. It does not. Back over to the bottom lane. They try and blow up Zai. Zai is going to be run down here unless, okay, the Echo Slam goes out. The Shallow Grave TP out. He turns around, cancels that TP, throw out Poison Touch because I think he knew he was going to die, but he was hoping that he'd be able to get the kill on Limp with the Necronomicon. Zapsor, a successful TP out for him. A 1-for-1 trade, it seems.
Yeah, I think Zai was actually okay, and then the Shaker used ult, and he's like, oh, we fighting? I guess I'll stay. I'm not sure. He needed to cancel that TP. Not the biggest kill. Still Seeker with a 7k gold lead, but they don't want to lose Nisha mid, but
yeah, this is a big kill if they can get it.
From him.
No longer having the Berserker's call. Nisha's low enough. The Culling Blade should be enough here. Oh, it wasn't quite enough,
and a regen.
Though. A regen, too.
Oh. Heartbreaking for Alliance. S4 will be able to finish off his Blink Dagger now with a neutral stack, but feels like this item may be coming up a little bit too late. We're going to see a lot of pressure on S4 and Limp to start making some moves. And Zeus here, I feel, is very item dependent, but this game, he's their only source of mid-game damage, so he's probably going to have to join in with these fights and these rotations.
Smoke up from Alliance. They're not going to let their failure deter them. They have to keep up an active game with this Blink Dagger Inkswell combination. They can kind of get a kill on whoever they want, but what they don't want to do is force this combination on a Puppy. It'd be nice to get a much bigger kill, but it's going to be the Blink in. They do manage to counter Nisha here with the Inkswell on him. They can pump out a lot of damage. They throw everything they have, but they don't have the Culling Blade. They need a little bit more. S4 just going to have to rely on right clicks here, but Zai comes in with the saving grace. The Shadow Wave and the Shallow Grave are enough to be able to keep Nisha alive.
Oh, not having the Culling Blade ends up having such a big impact there. They couldn't bring Nisha down. If they kill Nisha, they probably get Puppey as well with the movement speed and the chase potential there. And nothing going right for Alliance here. Matu once again getting involved. He's playing this Ursa. He's so incredibly farmed while constantly fighting. Matu's play this game has been very impressive.
Hanskin planting a little tree there to try and block out Matumba, man.
See Dazzle not upgrading the Necro Book, just going for an early mech. We'll probably get all the team items out of this Dazzle. And Alliance going for a fast defuse on Nico Baby. Won't probably see him able to farm his way back into this game. He's going to have to fight with his team as much as possible with this defusal.
Great setup for Secret too, because they're on Dire's side. They took that early bottom tower off of winning lanes. Then Dazzle's able to farm the Ancient stack in the Radiant side, while the Templar Assassin can farm the Triangle at times. Just very efficient in that regard. That has led them to a 10,000 net worth lead.
Yeah, it feels like they're just taking all the jungle farm and lane farm on the map. Like the two Ancient stacks. You mentioned Matu's been farming the entire top jungle plus top lane. And it hasn't at any point felt greedy, even though they are farming the map, because they're just constantly killing Alliance whenever Alliance poke their noses out as well.
Oh, they're baiting out the bounty rune, but the ink swell is going to be wasted here.
They knew S4 was perhaps gearing up for a blink call with the Inkswell. And Alliance do not want to get into a slow-paced farm game right now. With Axe and Zeus, these heroes are just not going to scale and not going to be able to keep up in terms of farm. They're going to use these heroes for their kill potential, their kill threat on these secret cores.
Matumba Man actually bought a smoke himself, and I think he sold it, but the Dazzle has the smoke, so I think it's about time to either force a fight or take Roshan for themselves. Smoke's gonna break, but as the call comes in from S4, this time Nisha will die. Matumba Man is in close quarters though, has the Soulbind onto him, and the Dazzle still managing to chase down Limp a bit. Pull back in though, the Will-O-Wisp, the Echo Slam out from Yamsur, that's gonna be enough to be able to get the kill onto Limp, and they truck forward. A call goes out, S4 with the Inkswell stun onto 4, the Culling Blade misses though. Can they finish up these heroes? Puppey and Yamsur are pushed to the side, Limp chases them down, and that's a wipe. Alliance get their first real team fight victory in 3 games.
Beautiful Dota from Alliance. These guys playing with a 10k gold deficit at 15 minutes. Destroy Secret in that fight. The call, the Inkswell stuns, perfectly played. They had the numbers advantage with the early TA pickoff, and Secret, they kind of took the bait. We'll take another look at it. I think Secret definitely in hindsight probably just shouldn't take the fight once Nisha goes down. It's a 5v4, and Alliance just fighting back here. Limp, they had to invest so much to kill him.
And then he buys back, and he's got the damage to follow up on S4's beautiful call.
Yeah.
3-man call into the Inkswell stun, and you can see Limp is just perfectly set up to pump out the damage from there.
Yeah, I think the important thing is Alliance were ready for it. They had every hero there. Like, Limp buying back there, normally you'd expect like a long TP. He's getting more kills top lane potentially as Zai getting threatened.
Popping the mech. Shallow Grave
Matu
can't really
shows
save him here against the Culling Blade. It's not actually up for S4, and Zai will be fine, but Matumba Man, he's showing that he is still a big-time threat. Hanskin, okay, they popped that ultimate from the Zeus to manage to finish off Zai at least, but trading away 2 kills for that. It really goes to show the lack of a comeback mechanism. They won that gigantic fight in the mid lane, only losing their Zeus, but it was a 1,000 net worth difference at that point in time. It went from 10k to 9k.
And now the problem is immediately Secret just run to the Roshan pit. They've got Deso Blink on TA. They've got the Morbid Mask on Ursa. So easy Rosh. And while Alliance were ready and set up to defend their 2-1 mid, they are still just losing the farm battle. So team fight wise, you know, I'd say they're only slightly behind, but when it comes to like how they're going to scale, things look really rough for Alliance.
Yeah, it's going to be all up to Nico Baby, who does have a Diffusal Blade, trying to get the Yasha next. Okay, Will-O-Wisp has been used at least.
Yeah. I mean, good news is a very good PL game. The Ursa Battle Fury build is going to function a lot better against the PL, but I still feel like you're just good at kiting Ursa in general. Like, you're going to be able to burn all his mana and just constantly send illusions at him. TA, similar thing, very good at burning through the refraction. But you got to get there in terms of farm, and right now he is behind both those cores.
Trap spots them. Alliance, we're quite close to maybe finding a pickoff on somebody. Blade Mail being worked on for S4.
Yeah, we'll see what the calls for Alliance here. They seem to be playing around this mid-tier 1 tower again. We'll see if they go for a smoke or if they... I mean, they're much better off just counterplaying Secret and punishing them when they go for a push. I think when you try smoke to the enemy side of the map, that's where fights are going to look kind of ugly for them. That mid fight goes well because, you know, TA is just showing mid. You get a nice jump on your side of the map near your tower, which is where Limp's buyback is right where the fight is. He can just TP into the tier 1 mid. Playing on the enemy side of the map is a very scary proposition, and even though they have a smoke, it looks like they're just not going to use it.
Temperman will oblige by forcing the fight onto Alliance, taking that mid-tier 1 tower. Alliance back away.
Yeah, I think Secret, after seeing how that last fight went, know that, okay, the only hero we're going to show and send to push towers is this Aegis Ursa in the front lines, who has status resist now from an SMY, has the Enrage, has an Aegis, of course.
And that's why it's up to Alliance to make some sneaky moves. Hanskin's going to bake this by going for the outpost and the rest of the team smoking behind him. There is some Team Seeker rotations. Matumbaman's here. They have the Inkswell, but Matumbaman already got that kill, and they think that because this Aegis, again, they cannot fight into him. Limp
with the trap.
Slowed down, does have the Yule Scepter. Unfortunately, there is a Fissure there. Matumbaman hot on his trails will get the double kill.
Long respawn timer on Zeus, who bought back last fight. And Secret just going from kill to kill, objective to objective. Nice little outpost snipe with the TP in. Was perfectly timed, but ultimately, bit of XP, not going to change this game right now for them.
That was a dieback for Limp, so he's gone for a minute of this game. So combined with the Aegis and 4 versus 5, Alliance, I think they just have to give any kind of ground that Secret tread on.
Yeah. Wherever Secret go, that's their territory. You go play elsewhere. I'm sure PL has very little interest in team fighting at this point. I mean, we'll be hitting a kind of item timing with Diffusal, SMY, but with the Aegis in play, you've definitely got to at least stall that one out for a couple of minutes. Maybe just give up some tier 2s.
Like, this Phantom Lancer's play is gotta be, it's going to be very much kiting and playing the edges of the fights, because offensively, he's pretty good against Secret, but defensively, sadly, between Echo Slam, like, if he gets Echo Slammed, then that's going to set up for Matumbaman just come through, clean house, and not to worry. There is not a whole lot happening in the game right now as servers have been a bit unstable. Secret are going to smoke up down through the bottom river, approaching the Radiant side outpost. Fortunately, though, S4 seemed to have a pretty good idea that Secret was making a move like this and did hide behind his tier 2 bottom tower. And no trap to spot him.
S4 might walk into if he's not careful. Matu's going to... Matu was like, I reckon he's still in there, and he was right. Knew S4's ways. But yeah, I think Nico Baby, his item build, the SMY Satanic, he knows the one thing that he can't teamfight into is that Echo Slam you mentioned that sets up. So he doesn't want to get chain stunned by a Shaker. And this item build will look to prevent that.
That's much better than trying to go like the Manta build. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and he's got the magic resist from the Nether Shoal, at least for the time being.
Another smoke up and a missed call from S4. Can still get the kill out of Yapsor, though, thanks to the Inkswell explosion. The Blinding Light isn't enough to save Yapsor. It may not be enough to save Zai either, as now he's going to be run down by Nico Baby. Here comes Matumbaman, though. Hanskin's going to show up. Zai, he's going to pop his Shallow Grave. No axe in sight. S4 still waiting on the side here with the Inkswell up on him. Hanskin looking to be able to finish off Zai. He's unable to do so. They do manage to get that kill onto Puppey.
Yeah, having that outpost, so the Shaker buys back and has a insta TP location, but was a Shaker buyback, so all in all, an Alliance-favored team fight, gaining about 1,000 gold. Having a Shaker use buyback, they'll be pretty happy with how the outcome of that one went.
Alliance are playing really nicely from behind.
Yeah.
It just feels like they are falling further and further behind because they're just not getting that much out of these small skirmishes that they actually do win, and they have so little map control, while Secret, I mean, they're farming on all 5 heroes most of the time.
Yeah, like they gain, what, 1,000 gold with a Shaker buyback, but the aftermath of that fight is Secret say, okay, we'll just hit the jungle camps, and suddenly Secret get like 2k golden farm more than Alliance in the next 2 minutes after that fight, so they're not gaining ground. It's only really Nico Baby who's keeping up. This Zeus is just in for a rough on this game. Limp is really struggling to get farm or do a whole lot. There's just too many items he's going to need as well. Needs mobility. He's going to need some kind of defensive tool to go with the Yules probably at some point. He's going to want like a Ghost Scepter type item. And well, Secret happy to just slow this one down. They are just getting stronger and stronger as time goes on. They'll probably be looking to play around that Roche #2 timing. Getting Aegis and Cheese on their side. They've got BKB on Nisha. Satanic soon to come on Matu's Ursa. So for them, they're in no rush.
Quite the list of items. Alliance playing towards top. They're going to have to play around here constantly. They throw out the Thunder God's Wrath just to spot where Secret is, making sure that they weren't getting smoked wrapped on or anything like that. They have to play around this Roshan pit.
Yeah, I think if you're Alliance, you're trying to keep this middle and top lane pushed out as much as possible so you can contest Roshan. Ideal scenario is that's where you make your big stand this game. Get a good call into Inkswell stun. Easier said than done though, and Secret, very good heroes to play the vision game with the TA traps. It makes it hard for Alliance to actually make moves onto the map.
Yeah, combined with the TA trap, level 15 damage talent, that allows you to actually be able to split push the lane as well. So even though it's Alliance who had the Fury on, it still does not feel like they're gaining that much ground. It's only one lane that's usually pushed out at a time.
Yeah,
as you can see, there it is, cutting the creep wave with the trap.
Yep. Anybody who tries to show and actually push out lanes on the Alliance side, other than maybe top, is just going to get hunted and picked off by TA or Ursa.
I'm going to say I'm not a fan of Templar Assassin being able to do that.
It's definitely one of the really obnoxious things, especially if like you win a fight and you want to go push and you don't have detection against TA traps and she just keeps killing your creep waves.
Losing their wards. S4 in some trouble. Blocked out by the Fissure 2. I don't think there's any Force Staff to save him. A Will-O-Wisp to make sure he's not going anywhere. Yep. Secret quickly checked the pit because the potential Roshan time had just started. So they wanted to make sure it hadn't instantly spawned. It is going to be another 2 minutes though. So plenty of time for Alliance to recoup and reform a 5-man.
Yep. They, I think, recognize when Roche is respawning. Alliance had taken control of this, like, you know, the Radiant Triangle of camps and playing around the top and the mid lane because they want to set up for Roche, but it's almost like they did a bit too early, and Secret's like, okay, we'll play bottom. Now Roche could respawn anytime. Okay, we're going to go take control. We're much stronger than you. This Ursa in the front lines is unkillable with this Satanic. And Secret know Roche #2 is their key objective this game. They're going to get vision up for it. They're going to pressure this tier 2 top. Limit Alliance's options to kind of play around buybacks to pressure and take a Roche team fight. Most likely they're going to have to throw a lot of lives and some buybacks into that fight, so it's just going to get harder and harder for Alliance to contest this Roshan with how Secret is playing around this part of the map.
Using their hold of the Radiant Triangle as leverage, they did manage to take that tier 2 at top lane and can start pressuring mid lane as well. There is a Blink Dagger up on the Zeus, and there is the 400 Phantom range talent, or Phantom Rush range talent on the Phantom Lancer. It's quite the mouthful.
Yeah, he's going to hit Satanic as well, so Nico Baby will be coming online. This bottom part of the map is now free for him to farm, but I'm not sure how good Alliance feel about that if they're going to be giving up Roche for free, which may just be inevitable. They may just be playing for a high ground defense here. I think having lost map control of the top side and Yapzor just sitting invis underneath an Observer Sentry combo, waiting for someone to come fight under this ward. They've got TA traps and everything. It just feels like it's Secret's call which part of the map they control, and Alliance is just taking the scraps or whatever's left over.
Yeah. Earlier they were trying to put Treants in the Roche pit, but it's looking like they're giving up more and more hope of being able to play that side of the map. And this is one of those classic, of this patch anyway, feels like you're just all inning on one item, and if you don't win that one fight, then it's probably GG. If Nico Baby gets his Satanic and they lose the fight, or maybe even lose the fight before he even gets this Satanic. Roche is up. Secret. They've been called back to that top part of the map.
Yeah, I think for a second they were trying to hunt down Axe. They saw him with a Observer Ward farming over near their Ancients. They also have a TA trap on their own Ancients. So they're trying to scout out Alliance when they get too greedy down on this bottom side. But for the most part, Secret want to play around Roche in this top part of the map. They'll grab Aegis and Cheese. Giving Nisha the Aegis, he's kind of more the high ground building hitter, so he's a bit more effective as far as utilizing this. And for a second, I thought Alliance going to repair kit. I was like, that's a dream item. But
yeah, they could certainly use one.
Yeah, repair kit on the Dire, unfortunately. PL gets Titan Sliver, though. Very good item for him. And his Satanic
more status resistance.
Yeah, 50 gold for his Satanic. And
okay.
We'll see if he can turn this one.
Needs to get it, farm it up, buy the item, and get back to base, perhaps ASAP. Secret wasting little time here, and I'm not sure if you saw it, Gods, but Roche died so quick against a TA Ursa lineup, and that tower is going to die pretty quickly too. S4 looks to be able to pull them back. Eul Scepter going off. It looks like the Will-O-Wisp is going to make sure he's held there with a Fisher block in as well, but Tom Man will take the opportunity to finish off S4, and no buyback there.
Nisha got the BKB off, had the Grave as well, and S4 had to give away his life and did force a BKB.
Satanic is finally here for Nico Baby, so he's a little bit more ready to fight, and S4 did get his buyback. Looks like he got the tick gold necessary. They're going to call up Matumba Man, try and prevent him from being able to use that cheese. He pops the Enrage, though. Eul Scepter stalls up his retreat, but is still able to hop over the cliff and get down to the low ground.
Baby wants in.
Zai. He's going to be stunned up by the Inkswell to call the follow-up. S4, he does manage to finish off the Templar's Assassin first life, but they still have to deal with Matumban and his cheese. Nico Baby starts going for the back line. Soulbind locking down the two of them. Nico Baby cutting through the trees. Yapzor, Echo Slam out with the status resistance allowed Nico Baby to be able to fight back, and Inkswell stunned onto the two, and it looks like Alliance, they're going to wipe Secret. Taking down the 4, a 5th member in Puppy will manage to TP out, but another great hold from Alliance.
They're doing a cap. This is why Secret's kind of avoided going for these pushes and just been looking to accrue this big lead. It's pretty hard for them to fight the Alliance team fight with Soulbind, AoE Call, Inkswell stuns. Perfect coordination and play here. It did require an S4 buyback, but Secret just kind of getting kited around too much here. And what a perfect Soulbind at the end there. Yapzor just couldn't find a way to chain stun the PL. Of course, all the status resistance and just perfect team fight coming in from Alliance.
Nico Baby, especially for me, played that fight so well. Just playing very much in and out. Now going to be able to run down Puppy, it looks like. Doesn't even need the help of Nico Baby. Hanskin will handle it on his own. And Team Secret, with no buybacks here, if they manage to run down Zai, this is going to be some back-to-back kills for Secret. They may not have the numbers to defend one lane of barracks. Fortunately, he was able to get back to the fountain, so he's okay for now, but that tier 3 is dropping fast.
You can see why Alliance weren't maybe concerned about giving up Aegis and Cheese. They were just happy to play the high ground defense game. They knew this PL was going to come online, and Nico Baby just feels a bit unkillable in these fights.
That filthy repair kit. Yapzor does manage to find Hanskin. Hanskin tries to go for a second TP. There is so many stuns available from an Earthshaker, my friend. A third TP attempt, but a Eul Scepter. That'll stop him, and he'll finally go down.
Had to put a ward in there to get vision for that Euls.
Well, at least it cost them something. Zai. Oh, jeez. Nisha barely got away from that blink call from S4. Now he's going to slow down S4 with the traps. Will-O-Wisp, oh, it misses the spider legs. That extra bit of movement speed does allow S4 to get farther and farther ahead. Nico Baby's here on the side of Soulbind, locking down the two with the silence out. It's going to be able to control up Nisha, so we can't chase the axe as well. Secret saw an opportunity to force a 4 versus 5, but Alliance do make a clean escape.
Yeah, Alliance is just, for the most part, taking these fights by just having really good positioning. It feels like Nisha on this TA has just not had much of a game despite getting all this farm, Nisha 1, 4, and 6. You'd normally see TAs with like, 10 plus kills in games like this where you're dominating 15, 20k gold lead, getting every Aegis. And TA has not found any of these like squishy heroes in the fights, can't get to the backlines it seems. He's the one constantly getting initiated on, and so Nisha not really feeling himself here and having a bit of a rough one.
Yeah, I think he's like so used to Axe not being a problem with the Templar Assassin, but with the Inkswell, it is a really potent initiation that easily burns through its refraction. He's chain stunned for, at least like 5 seconds, maybe a lot more. And, yeah, he's just going to have to play, I think, a little bit more cautious. Now, he does have the BKB, which will help, but he needs Matumba Man to really be the one that's initiated on first and then just be that silent assassin that comes in.
Yeah, Matu's the one with all the status resist, and I think that's something where he's maybe actually the better building Sieger because of that. Him getting gone on by Axe is almost a good way for Secret to start a fight. TA getting Blink Cold is how you lose the fight, as we saw previously. So we may see Secret change their approach, something they've been particularly good at in some of their previous games that took them where they had these bad laning stages and it takes them a little while to figure out how to approach these team fights. They're very good at making those adjustments on the fly.
If they get the Abyssal Blade for Nico Baby, they will have so many answers to the Templar Assassin at that point in time. He's already got the Basher.
Yeah, it feels like Nisha has got to play like this very much go for the back lines, play on the fringe of the fight, never really show yourself because, yeah, Nisha is just like a free kill. And he's going for this very glass cannon build. Has the Bloodthorn and then a Nullifier queued up. So I think his job is going to be kind of just hunting some of these supports almost. Killing the Zeus, ideally. That's what the Nullifier's for, since Zeus has both Yules and Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, that's a nice idea.
You take out the Zeus, that's a lot of the Alliance damage removed from a fight.
Matumba Man, he can also help with that now that he's got the Abyssal Blade. So the Earthshock, a little hop forward, maybe gets him range of an Abyssal Blade. Limp's going to have to be very careful with his positioning. Nice Thunder God's Wrath, though. That red Secret was smoked up, and it read where they were at as well. Yep. Even though they don't show on the minimap, it shows like, hey, you have vision of these areas of the map. This is where your lightning bolts landed, so you can, as long as you're paying attention, you pretty easily find it. S4, he was playing these sides of the map, but Secret, man, they are like bloodhounds with that. Look at him. He pings the high ground. Oh, they have a ward here. Nah, dog. That's just Secret. They just seem to always know these little hiding places that people want to play.
I think it's also just knowing S4 as a player, because he's definitely shown in games like this, he'll push the limits of his hero and stick around for longer in the offlane. Because the problem is if you TP back, Hanskin will get caught down a bottom lane now, it looks like.
You're going to let him TP, let him think that he's going to be able to get away, but trapped in a corner now that Zai's here. They should have plenty of stuns. Well, one more Enchant Totem hit. Go for it again. Enchant Totem hit will stop it. That's enough.
Took him some time. But yep.
Secret, they've been around the block a few times. They know. Alliance. That idea of ratting the map and sticking to those sides of the map that you can't really quite see, it hasn't gone away from this old squad.
Yeah, we saw it in some like Beastmaster games from S4 early in the tournament when they were behind just playing this rat Dota game, and he'll stick in the trees as long as possible, really push the limits, and once you TP back to base, you can't get back to that part of the map because you're going to be running past wards, you're going to get scouted, so you never really want to leave your split push lane.
All right, you've got the plus 480 AoE Earthshock. He now just slams half the screen when he jumps forward.
That's huge. Well, Tier 4 item's going to be coming up, and we'll see Secret going for Roche number 3. This one will have either Ags or Refresher Shards, so we'll give them a bit more strength to go with what they've already got. They're going to have some level 25s, not just the Ursas, but the TAs coming up soon as well. And Alliance is just saying, well, Let's wait for them to push high ground again. That's where we're at our strongest. I don't believe they're going to make a move to go out to the Roshan pit. It's just too hard without having a good vision hero. They can try and use the treants a little bit for scouting, but that's really all they've got as far as vision goes.
Hey, another level 25, the -4 seconds of Doppelganger.
Okay.
That one's pretty hype. I got to smoke up with that, see if they can play for that Roshan area.
Risky play. They haven't left their base much, but they want to fight under their vision here.
They do manage to get the call, starting off on Yapzor. A great initiation, a great kill to start the fight. And you can see Secret, they do not try and engage. If anything, they're going to play off of maybe the buyback from Yapzor. They're going to buy back on Limp as he died to Matumba Man on the side. Nico Baby quickly surrounding, does manage to trap him in, and they do manage to get the call to finish off Puppey. Buyback from both the supports, though, as Roshan does spawn, and Matumba Man's now out of mana. Burned down by those illusions. They're going to have to reset here.
Yep. Matu, will he force this Roche? They have got Chakra, so Matu's able to stay nice and juiced up, ready for another fight, but S4 could be looking for that blink call.
Starting to work on Roshan. Inkswell illusions, they're going to go in first. Doesn't quite explode in time. The illusion dies. It was the weaker one, sadly. An Abyssal Blade initiation. They found the real Phantom Lancer. Null fired up, and he can't get away. He's dead with no buyback. Secret. They have been losing team fights to Alliance, but it only takes one moment, one mistake to punish to potentially end the game now.
Yeah, it's so brutal. It's one of those things. Nico Baby has played a perfect game up until that point, and even that, it's like, it just doesn't even look like it's that big a mistake. At some point, you've got to make a move to try and win this game for your team, and as Alliance, it was like, let's contest this Roshan, and that's where TA finally gets to shine.
They're going to try and go back in. The Axe Call onto Yapzor, see if they can get a die back onto him. It would be massive. Blink Yules set up into the Lightning Bolt. That should be an easy kill. So they did get a pick off, but look at Secret. They have a pretty good idea that Alliance, they're in a sticky situation. The reason they're trying to make so many crazy moves right now is that maybe, just maybe, the Phantom Lancer doesn't have buyback. They're not going to force it past this melee barracks. In mid and top, they're not going to go for the throne.
I imagine they're calling that he just bought Abyssal Blade. He's probably got no buyback. Let's just keep playing aggressive. Aegis Cheese.
There it is. Your Shock Abyssal Blade forward onto S4. S4 did have that Bloodthorn on him, but activated the BKB, turning around the Inkswell stun, trying to get on top of Matumba Man, but he hops over the Sprout trees and gets the distance to prevent that stun. Satanic just to heal up to full, just in case. Still has the cheese to work with as well. 10 more seconds till the Phantom Lancer is back up. So Secret, retreat. 2 lanes of barracks down, but S4, he's not going to let him go down. Does manage to get off the in-range. The Nullifier pops that Inkswell stun. S4 trying to make his way back. The Soulbind double Yule Scepter. Can S4 get away? No, he was blocked in by the Yule Scepter and vulnerability AoE. Matumba Man now just jumps in that backline, immediately deals with Limp. Gonna deal with Hanskin as well. Here comes Nico Baby trying to deal with Nisha as quick as possible. The Inkswell stun helping him out there, but he's gonna jump and try and catch Zai, knowing that Shallow Grave is a potential problem here. Same goes with Puppey with the blast, but it's him and FNG against the world at this point in time, trying to burn through so many heroes. Nico Baby's working on it, but no longer having a Satanic. FNG, he died to Matumba Man inside the base, while Nico Baby is being kited around by these 3 different range heroes. A Centaur stun goes out. Puppey still being the one being targeted. Nisha dropping a little bit low. Zai being targeted as well, but the Will-O-Wisp pulls him back in with the Orchid on him, but he Abyssal Blades up onto the Coddle. Matumba Man, though, is dealing with the throne. He says, you guys got it, right? I can just hit the buildings if you want. An Echo Slam at Nico Baby. His kiting days are over. He will fall here, and that is it. A 3-0 for Secret. Alliance, they did their best to battle back, but Team Secret will be your ESL One Birmingham champions.
S4 gives them the well-played grass with a little sad face. He knows they were outclassed,